Imagine yourself as a flame, steady and unwavering. A flame doesn't doubt its existence or question its purpose, it simply burns. It doesn't worry about how bright it is compared to other flames, nor does it wonder if the moths will notice it. It just is. Its entire nature is to shine, to radiate warmth and light, without hesitation or self-consciousness. In the same way, your essence is already enough. You don't need to strive to be more than what you are. When you embrace your true nature, free from doubt or insecurity, you embody a quiet confidence that doesn't require validation. This is not arrogance, but a deep understanding that you are a part of something much larger, a spark of the divine, unique and irreplaceable. When you live from this place, you don't need to seek attention or approval. Your energy speaks for itself. People and opportunities are drawn to authenticity, just as naturally as a moth is drawn to the flame. You become a source of light, not by trying to be seen, but by simply being who you are. Chasing creates a tension, a sense of lack, as if something vital is missing and must be pursued. But consider this: when you chase after something, you often push it further away, like trying to catch a feather carried by the wind. The act of chasing implies that you are incomplete, that what you seek exists outside of you, separate and unattainable. Instead, there is power in stillness, in knowing that what is meant for you will find its way to you. Life has its own rhythm, its own currents, and when you chase, you are swimming against them. It's exhausting and often unnecessary. The things, the people, and the experiences meant to be in your life don't require pursuit. They come naturally when you align with your true self. When you stop chasing, you allow space for what truly belongs to you to arrive. You are no longer running after fleeting desires or forcing connections that aren't meant to be. You're at peace, knowing that your value doesn't depend on what you capture or hold on to. This stillness, this trust, is not passive, it's deeply active. It's a statement of your worth, a declaration that you don't need to run after anything to be whole. In letting go of the chase, you shift your energy. Instead of pursuing, you attract. Instead of longing, you trust. And in that trust, life unfolds as it should, bringing you exactly what you need at precisely the right moment. To radiate your essence is to live authentically, to let the truth of who you are shine without hesitation or apology. It's not about striving to be anything more than what you already are. It's about uncovering the layers that obscure your light. Beneath societal expectations, insecurities, and doubts lies your true self, vibrant and undeniable. When you embrace this essence, there's no need for embellishment or pretense. You simply exist as you are, and that is enough. Think of the sun. It doesn't try to shine brighter for some and dim itself for others. It simply radiates, offering its warmth and light unconditionally. In the same way, when you live in alignment with your inner truth, you naturally share your gifts and presence with the world. This radiance is not loud or demanding, it's subtle, yet powerful. It draws people in, not through force, but through the quiet magnetism of authenticity. There's a beauty in being unapologetically yourself, in honoring your unique qualities without needing external validation. It's not about perfection, it's about being real, embracing your strengths and imperfections alike. When you radiate your essence, you create a ripple effect. Your light inspires others to do the same, to drop their masks and step into their own authenticity. And in this shared light, connections deepen, opportunities flow, and life unfolds in harmony. To radiate your essence is to trust in your own light and let it shine freely, illuminating the path for yourself and those around you. Attracting naturally is not about effort or strategy, it's about resonance. When you live in alignment with your true self, the energy you emit becomes a silent invitation to everything meant for you. There's no need to chase or convince, because what is truly aligned with you will be drawn to the vibration you naturally carry. Think of a flower in bloom. It doesn't call out to the bees or try to move toward them. It simply blossoms, offering its fragrance and nectar. The bees come not because the flower demands it, but because its presence fulfills a natural connection. In the same way, when you embrace who you are without fear, without trying to be something you're not, you create space for the right people and opportunities to find you. This process is rooted in trust, in letting go of the need to control how things come to you. When you force or push, you disrupt the natural flow of life. But when you are still, when you live authentically and honor your essence, you align with the rhythms of the universe. In this alignment, what is meant for you comes with ease, not because you grasped for it, but because it resonated with who you are. To attract naturally is also to have faith in timing. It's about recognizing that not everything needs to happen all at once, and that the right things will arrive when you are ready for them. It's a dance of patience and presence, of trusting that your light will draw the right connections when the time is right. In this way, attraction becomes not an act of pursuit, but a celebration of simply being. Pleading or forcing creates a tension that distorts the natural flow of relationships and opportunities. When you plead, you place yourself in a position of lack, as if saying, I am incomplete unless you respond to me, unless you fulfill this need. Similarly, forcing suggests a lack of trust, an attempt to bend the world to your will rather than aligning with its natural rhythms. This approach often leads to resistance. People and situations are not meant to be coerced or compelled, they are meant to unfold organically. The more you push, the more you may create barriers, as though trying to hold on to sand that slips through your fingers. The harder you try, the further away the outcome seems, leaving frustration in its wake. Instead, there is power in letting go of the need to plead or force. Trust that what is meant for you will not require struggle or manipulation. True connections and opportunities come with a sense of ease and mutual flow. When you stop trying to control or convince, you create space for genuine alignment, where what comes into your life is drawn to your authenticity, not your efforts to persuade. This is not about passivity, it's about standing firmly in your own worth. It's about recognizing that you don't need to beg for attention, affection, or acceptance. You are already whole, and from this place of completeness, you can interact with the world in a way that feels natural and balanced. By avoiding pleading or forcing, you step into a state of trust just in yourself, in others, and in the unfolding of life itself. Standing still in your power is not about physical stillness, but an inner state of unshakable confidence and presence. It means knowing who you are, valuing your essence, and refusing to be swayed by external pressures or the chaos around you. It's about being rooted like a great tree whose branches may sway in the wind, but whose trunk remains firmly planted in the earth. When you stand still in your power, you are not seeking approval or validation from others. You don't need someone else to tell you your worth because you already know it. This isn't arrogance, it's self-assurance, the quiet understanding that you are enough as you are. From this place, your actions and decisions come from clarity, not from fear or desperation. It's easy to be swept up in the rush of life, to chase after fleeting desires or lose yourself in the opinions of others. But when you stand still in your power, you resist that pull. You become a calm center in the storm, radiating strength and stability. This doesn't mean you are immune to doubt or uncertainty. It means you acknowledge those feelings without letting them define you. Standing still in your power also allows you to attract what is aligned with your true self. You are no longer chasing or compromising to fit into someone else's vision. Instead, you become a beacon, drawing in people, opportunities, and experiences that resonate with the authenticity of who you are. This state of presence is magnetic because it signals to the world that you are grounded, secure, and open to receiving what is meant for you. In this stillness, there is also a profound trust in yourself, in your path, and in the timing of life. You recognize that you don't need to force outcomes or chase after what isn't meant to be. By standing still, you allow the flow of life to come to you, carrying with it everything that belongs in your orbit. Understanding the natural flow of life means recognizing that everything has its own rhythm, its own timing. Just as the river flows effortlessly toward the sea, guided by the terrain, the currents, and the natural forces, so too does life move forward with its own current. We often resist this flow, either by trying to control it, swim against it, or jump ahead of it. But when we understand the flow, we stop fighting it and begin to move with it in harmony with the unfolding of things. The natural flow is not about passivity, it's about surrendering to the greater forces at play and trusting in the process. It's about recognizing that you don't need to force everything to happen in your time, or to make things fit into your limited understanding of how they should unfold. Life is far larger than any of us can comprehend, and when we let go of the need for control, we find that it often works out more beautifully and in more unexpected ways than we could have imagined. Consider the seasons. Each one has its time to arrive, to reach its peak, and to leave. A tree doesn't hurry spring or demand summer, and yet each season comes in its own due course. Life is no different. When we stop struggling to rush things or hold on to the past, we find that everything arrives exactly when it's meant to. It's the practice of trusting that things are always moving, always shifting, and that we are an essential part of that flow. Understanding the natural flow also means recognizing that obstacles, challenges, and delays are not interruptions, but part of the movement itself. They are the rocks in the river, the turns in the road, guiding us toward growth and understanding. The flow doesn't ignore these moments, it works with them, and so should we. When you live in tune with this flow, you stop forcing your desires to fit into rigid timelines or unrealistic expectations. Instead, you allow things to unfold in their own time, trusting that what is meant for you will come when the conditions are right. You trust the process of becoming, the continual unfolding of life. You stop swimming upstream and start to flow naturally with life, finding peace in the spaces between effort and surrender. Trusting in divine timing is the understanding that life unfolds in perfect harmony, even when it doesn't seem to be happening on your preferred schedule. It's the recognition that there is a larger plan at work, one that moves beyond our limited perspective and immediate desires. We often want things now, believing that we know what is best for us in any given moment. But divine timing teaches us that there is wisdom in waiting, in patience, and in allowing things to develop at their own pace. When you trust in divine timing, you let go of the pressure to force outcomes. You stop trying to control every aspect of your life, every detail, as if you alone are responsible for making everything happen. Instead, you surrender to the flow of life, knowing that the right people, opportunities, and circumstances will appear when they are meant to, not when you demand them. This trust is an act of faith. It's the belief that your path is already unfolding in the way that's most beneficial for you, even if you can't yet see the full picture. Like a seed planted in the soil, you cannot rush its growth. It takes time to bloom, to become what it is meant to be. In the same way, you are growing, evolving, and becoming, and each stage of this process is essential to your development. Trusting divine timing also means embracing the unknown. There is no way to predict exactly how things will unfold, but that uncertainty doesn't need to be feared. In fact, it's often in the unknown that we find our greatest lessons and discoveries. Instead of rushing to fill the gaps or scrambling to make things happen, trust that what you need will come in its own time and in the form that's right for you. Sometimes, when we least expect it, everything will fall into place. The timing will feel just right, and we'll look back and realize that the waiting, the uncertainty, and the delays were part of the process that led to the most profound moments. The universe has its own pace, and when we align with it, things happen in ways that we couldn't have orchestrated ourselves. So when you trust in divine timing, you learn to stop resisting, stop pushing, and stop worrying. Instead, you surrender, and in doing so, you open yourself to the beauty of life's unfolding. You trust that what is meant for you will come when it is meant to, and you can rest in the peace of knowing that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. In the end, life is not something to be chased, forced, or controlled. It is a dance, a flow that, when embraced, leads you to your fullest potential. By being the flame, you radiate your authentic essence without needing to chase anything or anyone. As you stand still in your power, trusting in divine timing, you naturally attract what is meant for you. You no longer plead or struggle, but instead move with the natural rhythms of life, knowing that everything will unfold at the right moment. And in that trust, you find peace. You begin to realize that the journey itself, with all its twists and turns, is just as beautiful as the destination, because you are aligned with the true flow of life.